Thelma Todd was born on July 29, 1906, in Lawrence, Massachusetts, to working-class parents. Bright, ambitious, and naturally beautiful, she initially pursued a respectable path as a schoolteacher, enrolling at Lowell Normal School after graduating high school. But fate intervened when she entered a local beauty pageant, winning the title of Miss Massachusetts in 1925. This crown turned out to be her golden ticket. Hollywood scouts at the time scoured pageants for photogenic, fresh faces, and Todd's classic blonde beauty and magnetic charm caught their attention immediately. She was invited to Paramount Pictures training school in New York, designed to polish potential screen stars, and by 1926, she had moved to California in the midst of the Roaring Twenties. Hollywood was shifting from silent films to talkies, and Todd's smooth voice and comedic timing gave her an edge over many silent-era actresses whose careers ended with sound. She started with small roles, but quickly rose through the ranks, appearing in over 100 films. Todd carved a niche in light comedies and became a familiar face opposite comedic legends like the Marx Brothers and Laurel and Hardy. By her late 20s, she was a beloved starlet, nicknamed Hot Toddy, and the Ice Cream Blonde. Unlike many actresses who relied solely on looks, Thelma Todd had a genuine gift for comedy that set her apart. Hollywood initially tried to pigeonhole her as a pretty, flirtatious second lead, but she was determined to be recognized for her talent. She famously said that relying only on beauty was the worst thing a girl could do. Todd mastered the art of playing the glamorous straight woman, the one who could deliver a perfect punchline with a raised eyebrow or stay cool amidst chaotic slapstick antics. Her impeccable timing caught the attention of Hal Roach, a powerhouse producer of comedy shorts, who paired her with Zasu Pitts to create a rare female comedy duo. Audiences adored their dynamic, which blended Todd's poised sarcasm with Pitts' ditzy charm. She held her own opposite comedy icons like Groucho Marx, delivering witty barbs with effortless grace. Off-screen, Todd was known for her lively personality. She was warm, generous, and loved late-night parties, often seen ordering rounds of her favorite drink, 3 Fingers of Rye. Yet she also had a serious side, craving respect beyond the dumb blonde stereotype. She navigated the pressures of Hollywood's beauty standards with resilience, balancing her carefree public image with a deeper longing for substance. Behind her radiant smile, Thelma Todd's romantic life was riddled with drama and heartbreak. In 1931, while filming Corsair, she began a passionate affair with the film's director, Roland West. He was nearly 20 years older, married, though estranged, and had a mysterious, brooding charm that drew her in. Their relationship was intense but complicated, and when West returned to his wife, Thelma impulsively married Hollywood agent and occasional producer Pat DiCicco in 1932. DiCicco was tall, handsome, and moved in fast-living circles filled with high society figures and underworld connections, but beneath his charm lay a dark temper. The marriage quickly turned abusive. Friends recalled his jealous rages and violent outbursts. One brutal fight allegedly left Todd with internal injuries that required an emergency appendectomy, while DiCicco walked away with a broken nose. After a year of chaos, she left him, changing her will to only $1, a final, symbolic insult. By 1934, Thelma returned to Roland West, rekindling both their romance and their shared ambitions. Together, they opened Thelma Todd's Sidewalk Cafe, a glamorous roadhouse by the Pacific Coast Highway. But even with renewed love, Todd's personal life remained entangled with jealousy, power struggles, and dangerous associations with Hollywood's darker undercurrents. By 1934, Thelma Todd was diversifying beyond acting. With Roland West's encouragement and financial backing, she opened Thelma Todd's Sidewalk Cafe, a Spanish-style Mediterranean roadhouse perched along the Pacific Coast Highway in the Pacific Palisades. It was designed to cater to both tourists and Hollywood's elite. Downstairs, casual diners enjoyed seaside meals, while upstairs, a secret speakeasy-style lounge called Joya's Room offered privacy for exclusive late-night gatherings. The cafe was an instant success, with Todd personally greeting patrons, sometimes even sitting behind the register to surprise guests. It became a glamorous hotspot where movie stars mingled with socialites, but it also attracted a darker crowd. Rumors circulated that East Coast mobsters had taken an interest in the lucrative business. One story claimed that notorious gangster Charles "Lucky" Luciano wanted to turn the upstairs lounge into an illegal casino. When Luciano allegedly propositioned Todd, both for business and personally, she boldly refused, quipping, "Over my dead body." Supposedly, Luciano replied chillingly, "That can be arranged." Whether fact or Hollywood legend, these whispers about mob involvement painted a dangerous backdrop around the cafe. It became clear that Todd, despite her charm and success, was operating in a world where glamour brushed uncomfortably close with organized crime. In the months leading up to her mysterious death, Thelma Todd confided to friends that her life had taken a darker turn. She had begun receiving anonymous threats, letters laced with menacing demands for money. One particularly disturbing extortion note came from a self-styled stalker calling himself the Ace of Hearts. He warned that he would kill her unless she paid $10,000. The obsessed fan was eventually caught in New York, but the chilling threats left Todd shaken. There were also hushed rumors that powerful underworld figures had their eyes on her thriving cafe, pressuring her to allow illegal gambling operations. Todd, known for her feisty independence, refused to give in, which may have made her enemies among men accustomed to getting their way. Friends noticed she was more cautious than usual, even fearful at times, yet she continued her work, determined to maintain her business and her career. Despite these threats, Todd seemed optimistic about the future. She had wrapped over 100 Christmas gifts for friends and family and was eagerly anticipating the holiday season. But beneath the surface of her glittering Hollywood life, danger lingered in the shadows, whether from crazed fans, gangsters, or toxic relationships. These threats would cast a long, ominous shadow over her final days. On December 14, 1935, Thelma Todd attended a glamorous Hollywood party at the Café Trocadero, hosted in her honor by 19-year-old actress Ida Lupino and her father. She arrived in high spirits, wearing a pale blue satin evening gown, matching heels, and a luxurious mink coat. Her mother accompanied her as a guest, and throughout the night, Todd mingled with industry friends like Sid Grauman and Arthur Freed. Witnesses said she was cheerful, laughing, and enjoying herself. However, a brief but tense exchange occurred when she encountered her ex-husband, Pat DiCicco, who arrived with another actress to provoke her. Still, the spat seemed minor and didn't dampen her mood. By 3:30 a.m., her chauffeur, Ernest Peters, drove her back to the Pacific Palisades, where her cafe and apartment were located. Unknown to Todd, Roland West, still possessive and upset over her late-night outings, had locked their shared apartment door at 2 a.m., as a warning for her to come home earlier. When Peters offered to escort her inside, she declined, assuring him she'd be fine. It would be the last time anyone saw her alive. What followed in the next few hours remains a tangled mystery of jealousy, locked doors, and fatal choices. The next morning, December 16, 1935, Todd's maid, May Whitehead, went to the garage belonging to Roland West's estranged wife, located up a steep hillside above the cafe. Inside, she discovered a horrifying sight. Thelma Todd slumped lifeless in her chocolate-brown Lincoln. She was still dressed in her elegant evening gown, her lips slightly bruised, and $20,000 worth of jewelry remained on her. The car's ignition was on, but the battery was drained. Carbon monoxide had silently filled the closed garage, suffocating her as she sat in the passenger seat. The coroner ruled the cause of death as carbon monoxide poisoning, suggesting she accidentally poisoned herself while seeking warmth. But conflicting details fueled endless speculation. Some claimed she had additional injuries, broken ribs, a cracked nose, marks on her throat, never officially documented. Witnesses claimed to have seen her alive the day after her supposed death, while others reported hearing her argue with West that night. Why had she climbed 270 steep steps in heels while allegedly intoxicated? And why didn't anyone hear the roaring engine of the powerful car? A grand jury later ruled it an accidental death, but whispers of jealousy, mob threats, and cover-ups persisted, leaving the true story shrouded in mystery. The sudden and mysterious nature of Thelma Todd's death triggered a media frenzy. Was it an accident, suicide, or murder? The Los Angeles grand jury convened to investigate, but the deeper they probed, the murkier the case became. Witness testimonies contradicted one another, fueling endless speculation. Some claimed Todd had been seen alive the day after her supposed time of death, driving with an unknown man. Others said they even sold her a Christmas tree on Sunday night. A friend swore she received a phone call from Todd after the estimated time of death, further complicating the timeline. There were also allegations of other injuries, cracked ribs, a broken nose, marks on her throat, that were never officially confirmed. Night watchman Earl Carter admitted he had walked past the garage multiple times that night and noticed nothing unusual, even though the engine supposedly roared loudly. Meanwhile, Todd's chauffeur insisted she behaved strangely quiet on the ride home, sparking rumors she feared gangsters were after her. Even West's estranged wife added confusion by claiming she saw Thelma alive after her death. Despite weeks of sensational headlines and conflicting evidence, the jury ultimately ruled it an accidental carbon monoxide poisoning, leaving the public deeply unsatisfied and suspicious. Decades later, an even darker revelation emerged. Hollywood producer Hal Roach, a close friend of Thelma Todd, claimed that on the day after her death, police visited him with shocking news. Roland West had confessed to accidentally killing her. According to Roach's account, West had been angry that Todd stayed out so late at the party. To teach her a lesson, he locked the apartment door at 2 a.m. so she couldn't get inside. When Todd returned around 3:45 a.m., slightly drunk, she yelled at West through the door. He scolded her for her late-night partying, and they had a heated argument. Todd stormed off, climbing the 270 steps up to the hillside garage. West allegedly followed and, in a fit of jealousy and control, locked the garage doors while she sat inside her car. He didn't realize the carbon monoxide would kill her. He only wanted to scare her. When he returned at daybreak and found her lifeless, he panicked. West reportedly told Roach he didn't know what to do and simply left the door unlocked, acting like nothing happened until her body was discovered. Roach claimed Hollywood insiders immediately moved to bury West's confession, fearing a massive scandal that could damage the film industry. The alleged confession set off a chain of cover-ups by Hollywood's powerful elite. At the time, influential studio heads and mob-connected businessmen had a vested interest in keeping scandal out of the headlines. Joseph Schenck, one of the most powerful figures in the industry, reportedly stepped in to protect Roland West. Schenck had deep connections with both the movie studios and organized crime, and he owed West favors from shady financial dealings. Corrupt officials, including the Los Angeles sheriff with close ties to Hollywood's elite, were rumored to have suppressed evidence. Police were instructed to downplay West's involvement, and the media was steered toward the accidental death narrative. Witnesses gave vague, conflicting statements, and any who knew too much were silenced or intimidated. In the end, the case was closed without charges, despite lingering doubts. Todd's death was officially ruled an accident, allowing Hollywood to move on without scandal. But whispers of jealousy, mob threats, and cover-ups persisted for decades. To this day, Thelma Todd's tragic end symbolizes the darker side of Hollywood's golden age, where power, corruption, and secrecy often outweighed justice. Her bright legacy as the ice cream blonde remains, but the truth about her death still lingers in the shadows.